uh, to be a part of this today and being asked by Miss Millie to come and to Kako'o and to help do the uplifting of this wonderful opportunity for our people. Yeah? So how many of us are excited to be here today? You know, when we watch the Super Bowl, kind of more louder, yeah? So really, Kanakas, how excited are we to be here today? So mahalo, mahalo for your time, mahalo for being here, and mahalo to all of us beneficiaries. So at this time, I would like to ask Michael Lo to do our pule for our orientation meeting.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and aloha. Thank you so very much for being here today. If we could all please bow our heads in prayer. Almighty God, our Heavenly Father, we give you all praise and glory for this beautiful, beautiful day, that we can come together as Kanaka Maoli to celebrate, to have hope, and to have dreams. We're thankful, Lord, that we may be here to learn about the next subdivision to the island of Maui, UHONA. We ask you, Lord, that you please be in our midst today. Please open our hearts, our minds, so that we may listen and learn all the things that we need to know so that we may live our dreams. We give you all the praise and the glory in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Mahalo. Thank you, Michael. So just some housekeeping rules or instructions, but of course we know it's very basic. So while we are so grateful to be in this space, we kindly ask that no food or drinks are allowed in this space, please. And if you need to drink, we do have our two water stations. They're right outside on the right, well, my right, your left, and my left, your right. Yeah, we have the wahine restrooms on this side and the kane is on this side. And that's where the water stations are. So please help yourself, but absolutely no food or drinks in this space, please. And also, because this is a school, and we're very grateful to be in this space. Absolutely no smoking as well. No vaping, no tobacco. And again, upon your check-in, if you don't have a white piece of paper, they'll be passing it out a little later on. But this is where you have an opportunity to write your questions down so you have your answers a little later at the ending of our presentation. So with that said, Keali'i Maka'ainana. He was known as the People's Prince or the Citizen's Prince. Prince Jonah Kuhio Kalani Anaole. March 26, 1871 through January 7th, 1922. The Hawaiian Homes Commission Act passed in 1921 and over 2,000 acres of land across the Pai'aina to be used for the rehabilitation of our people. Homesteads. Aina ho'opulapula. A kuleana held in high esteem by the Department of Hawaiian Homelands and the Hawaiian Homes Commission. Enacted over 100 years ago, the Hawaiian Homes Act paved the way for nearly 10,000 homestead leases. Nearly 10,000 of our ohana on our land. Mahalo nui, Prince Jonah Kuhio Kalaniana Ole. We would like to acknowledge our Hawaiian Homes Commission Maui Commissioner, Randy Awo. He was here earlier but needed to leave for family kuleana. However, we would like to acknowledge Randy Awo, Hawaiian Homes Commissioner for Maui. He has, yeah, you guys can put ikulima. He has been serving on the Hawaiian Homes Commission since September 2017. A longtime beneficiary of the Department of Hawaiian Homelands, Commissioner Awo brings over 32 years of experience in government and community relations to the Commission. He has an extensive background in conservation, being one of the creators of the Ahupua'a management model, which is aimed at protecting, managing, and conserving Hawaii's natural resources. Let's all give him a round of applause, please. Randy Awo. Thank you. And next, it is with great privilege to introduce Hawaiian Homes Commission Chair and Director of the Department of Hawaiian Homelands, Kali Watson. Appointed by Governor Josh Green, Chair Watson was confirmed by the Hawaii State Senate just over a year ago in March 2023. Chair Watson previously served as chairperson under the Cayetano administration, where he coordinated and developed over 3,100 residential lots on Hawaiian homelands. Since leaving the department in 1998, Chair Watson has focused his efforts on developing affordable housing for Hawaii's families. Today, Chair Watson spearheads the department's efforts to reduce the Hawaiian Homelands waiting list by leveraging Act 279 in department's historic $600 million allocation by the Hawaii State Legislature in 2022. Pu'uhonu is the department's first Act 279 project and a demonstration of those efforts. This orientation is just one example of his leadership and brings us one step closer to getting our ohana into homes and back on our lands. Please, let's welcome Chair Watson.
Aloha nui kākou. Can you go back to the previous slide? Yeah, it's a lot better looking guy. The Hawaiian Homes Commission Act first started serving our beneficiaries in 1921 with a mission basically to manage Hawaiian Homelands Trust effectively and to develop and deliver lands to Native Hawaiians today. I would like to recognize and honor the historical journey that has brought us to this moment. Born in 1871, Prince Jonah Kuhio Kalanaonole was a steadfast advocate for the betterment of the Native Hawaiian people. Despite the many challenges he faced during a time of tremendous upheaval, he persevered with unwavering dedication to his people's well-being. In 1921, as we all know, Prince Kuhio's dream of providing land to Native Hawaiians became a reality when the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act was passed by Congress. Prince Kuhio's vision was clear: to empower Native Hawaiians through land. Through the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act, he worked to return the lands to Native Hawaiians, fostering a sense of pride, identity, and belonging. We walk this path today guided by his vision. We're gathered here at Kamehameha Schools on this beautiful island of Maui to continue the process that will not only be very challenging, and has been very challenging for all of you, but for some of you, and hopefully all of you eventually, it'll be life-changing in that you'll be getting a homestead with a home for your family. This, as was mentioned, is the first step. It's the first time that the department has really been in this great position of having so much funds through Act 279 of $600 million, but we also have been successful in getting other funds. We have a CIP allocation involving $40 million, which we're using, and then we're also aggressively pursuing funding to hopefully double what we have so that we can address the needs on the waiting list. Our target is, if we're successful, is to reduce that 29,000 waiting list by 6,000. And in addition to that, to also use other approaches, which will also not necessarily reduce the waiting list, but address the needs of our beneficiaries, such as kupuna housing. That is a very, very needed approach by the department. So we're in the process of, and we have identified 10 different sites, including one on Maui, where we will pursue that effort initiative using some of our Nahasda funds to move that forward. We also, in addition to that, would be and will be aggressively pursuing and making available accessory dwelling units or supplemental dwelling units for the existing homesteads. And more so with the new houses that we're building, we'll also develop and design them whereby a homesteader can add either as a standalone or addition or a separation from the upper floor, from the ground floor, to do an accessory dwelling for Native Hawaiian renters. For those of you that do not qualify or get a homestead during this round, please don't be discouraged. As you will learn, this is the first phase of many more phases and projects to come throughout the island of Maui. Land Development Division, Kalani will be talking about a few of these additional projects, but the projects are there. The projects are going to be built. We've dedicated over $215 million to move these projects forward, and they will be built. We've already in the process, and we've encumbered over $215 million to move these projects forward, whether it be the Wailuku single family, residential, or the villages of Leali. The second phase we're going to start. We've also chosen a developer. We're negotiating a lease or a developer agreement on that. We also have encumbered Wai'ehu Mauka and the Honokawai subsistence ag lots, which is kind of a new approach whereby we create these smaller ag lots, and we call them subsistence ag lots because the idea is for the homesteader to grow crops or food to support his family and his neighbors, as well as have the option of raising livestock, and more importantly, also build a house, because it's a larger lot, which may be from a half acre up to 3 acres. You can build a very large lot or house to accommodate your entire family. Then we're also going to address those that have been awarded leases in the Keokea Waihuli project. So that project we also will be moving forward to make available new homesteads. And as I mentioned, we do have the legislature to thank for that. They, as was mentioned, awarded $600 million as well as additional funds. And as I mentioned, we also are going to aggressively pursue federal funding. And we're very optimistic on that part because of the fact that there is legislation as well as funding already in place. And we have been, to a limited extent, successful in acquiring or obtaining also federal funds. I'd like to take this moment to really acknowledge and thank an individual that has been, I guess I'd call it the catalyst of all this development on Maui. You're in a place that he built, Kamehameha Schools. and that's Everett Dowling. He has an unwavering commitment to the DHHL program. Almost 25 years ago, it was the first time I met him and came across his ingenious approach and development when we did the Waikapu Phase 2. He suggested, which we followed through, on acquiring non-DHHL lands that were agricultural, not necessarily entitled, but available and adjacent to our existing homestead areas. And by doing that, not only did we acquire lands that were in a good place, easier to develop, less costly to develop, but also resulted in an expansion and taking more people off our wait list. So from phase one, we did phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, and now we're doing Wai'ehu Mauka, which will involve close to 400 new homesteads. So I really have to take my hat off to Everett in his, not only his perseverance, but his ability to follow through and create opportunities, more opportunities for our beneficiaries. He is not only innovative, ingenious, and very competent as a developer, but he's also no stranger to the challenges of building quality, affordable housing on DHHL lands, having been at the forefront and doing significant projects throughout the islands. He's leaving a trail of tangible developments, progress, and growth. In fact, one good example, and actually an example of not only his commitment to quality housing, but safe housing. He was a developer that built the first phase in Leali'i, involving 104 homes. Of those 104, only 2 of them burnt out. So 102 survived the fire, contrary to the 2,200 adjacent that burned to the ground. So that tells you something about the quality and the safety of the housing he builds, and we expect him to continue to do that. He is the best developer on Maui. So in recognition of that, we've also given him an additional 3 projects to build for us and you as a beneficiary. As we go through this orientation process today, let us remember the purpose that brings us here together, and that's to learn about the UHONA project, phase 1, and other projects. DHHL is committed to creating vibrant communities that respect our past, serve the present, and build for the future. As you go through the process of qualifying for a homestead, let each step be a symbol of your determination and commitment to getting a homestead for yourself and your ohana. It's going to be challenging, and there's a lot of things that are going to be difficult to understand, but that's why we have people here to assist you, and it is going to be a challenging process, and that's why Everett and his staff will explain and give you the details, not only on the types of houses that are being built that you can choose from, also the costs, also the phasing, also the time frame. And so you can use that to adjust whatever things you need to do in order to prepare yourself for home ownership. We will have a cadre of lenders as well as department staff who will be available to explain the different loan as well as grant products that are available for use in this particular project. Besides turnkey units requiring pre-qualifying for loans, we'll also be explaining the Habitat for Humanity as well as the owner-builder options in phase 3. I'd also like to add that, for those of you that don't qualify for any of those, one of the things and changes that we are going to be doing, and this is a little adjustment and correction from our first orientation presentation from this morning, is that we will start to do the process of awarding leases. And we call them paper leases, but they are leases, homestead leases, whereby with that in your hand, you can, your successor is entitled, where there should the unfortunate situation arise where you pass away, they will succeed to that lease. Rather than being kicked off the wait list or unable to qualify, we will move forward so that not only will you have the option to receive an award, or your heir, should you pass away, award in this project, but the following future projects will also become available to you as well as the heir. And so that is going to be a change that I think is long overdue. The Kalima case is a good example of why we need to do that as a program. We need to adjust and address the needs of our beneficiaries. I mean, the state legislature in 2022 acknowledged that error, awarding $328 million to the complainants, which numbered 2,300. The sad fact that a third of them have already passed away without receiving the true benefit of receiving a homestead. So we, in recognition of not only that error, but the situation with existing homesteaders on our wait list, that needs to be addressed. So we'll be making that change. This particular project hopefully will serve as a beacon of hope, illuminating the possibilities that come when we work together with respect for our land, our heritage, and our future. Mahalo nui loa to everyone gathered here today, and here's to the successful completion of the UHONA Phase 1 project. As we say in Hawaii, a'ohe hana nui ke olu'ai. No task is too big when done together by all. If you persevere and stay the course, I feel very confident that you will get a homestead. Mahalo.
Thank you, Chair Watson. The Land Development Division is responsible for developing Hawaiian homelands for homesteading purposes. These three branches are: 1, Design and Construction Branch; number 2, the Master Plan Community Branch; and number 3, the Housing Projects Branch. So please, let's welcome Kalani Franda, who is the Acting Administrator for the Land Development Division.
Aloha. Aloha, everyone. Wow, what an exciting time, Al. You know, when you hear numbers like that and excitement from a leader like Chair Watson, you pause and you realize the opportunity that is here before us. And so I want to share with you guys and take kind of a step back, a broad perspective of how exciting it is and how things are happening here on Maui. But before that, I want to share with you some of the team members that are on the Land Development Division. We have about 15 of us, but 4 of us are primarily working with the Everett Dowling and his company on this particular project. So myself, of course, and Neil Nugent, Michelle Hitzman, and Moana Freitas. And so exciting things that are happening. You're going to hear more of it with this particular project at UHONA. Next slide, please. So let me step back a little and share with you. We have roughly about 32,000 acres that Hawaiian Homes has on the island of Maui. And Chair had shared with you guys about the $600 million that was given to, conveyed over to Department of Hawaiian Homelands for the purpose of reducing the wait list. So we have about $231 million that we are encumbering for the island of Maui. Doesn't that sound good? And of that, we have about 1,300 units that we will be building to be able to address the home housing situation here on this island. So as you look up here, there's a number of different projects happening right here, and I'll share a little bit more of what's happening in our Kula area, upcountry. But Chair had mentioned we have things that are happening in Honokawai with the subsistence ag. We have the villages of Leali'i, and fortunately for us, Dowling Company will also be developing lots that are out there. There's work that's being done on some of the lands that eventually we will be receiving from the Hawaii, from HCDA, and right now they have temporary housing on there. So we are working diligently with them on when that turns over in 5 years of getting and building and getting lots out there and houses so we can be able to supply additional units to the 1,300 that I just shared with you here. We're going to be talking a little bit more about Puhona. We also have Wailuku single family residential, and there's another area that is not on this, and that we are in the process of purchasing. With that 231 million, we are purchasing roughly about, well, an area it's called Kamalani out in Kihei, and that is currently owned by Alexander and Baldwin. We are buying because there's infrastructure in there, and we can be able to develop much quicker. And so with that, we have about 400 units that we are anticipating in that acquisition. Doesn't it sound good? I'm so excited to be here at this time. Next slide. So we're going to come up country. There's a bunch of things that are happening here. So while Huli, we have some lots that are being developed in this area, and Keokea. So we have monies, as Chair Watson had shared with you, we have additional monies on top of the 600 mil that we received from what's called Act 248 some time ago. And so we are also using that money to open up more lots, get more infrastructure out. And once again, just an exciting process, exciting time. Next slide, and then this will be my last slide in sharing what's happening and updates in the Land Development Division, and that is in Kaikinui. So we had recently awarded, I think it was like 20-something lots, 24, out in Kaikinui, and we're working on the next phase 2, planning that and getting ready for that as well. But once again, just so excited to be here with you guys. There's so much more information. So I know it's about that time where I get a little tired, 2 o'clock, but so much more good stuff coming up. Thank you.
Mahalo Kalani. So our next speaker, Dowling Company has been building communities, as you know, all over Maui for over 30 years, including this property, this school. First Maui campus, the Kulamalu project, and 4 homestead projects, Wai'ehuko 2, 3, and 4, and the villages of Leali'i 1A. In addition to Pu'uhona, the Dowling team will be developing Department of Hawaiian Homelands Wailuku single-family residential, Wai'ehu, Mauka, and villages of Leali'i 1B, homesteads. Upon completion of these projects, the company will have, in partnership with the Department of Hawaiian Homelands team, created over 1,300 homesteads on Maui. So please, let's welcome Everett Dowling.
How about now? Perfect, perfect. Thanks for being here today. We've looked forward to this for 5 years. We've been working on this project from the time we started negotiating to buy the land, and then negotiate with the department and go through the engineering and go through the permitting, and we've been at it for 5 years. We've really been looking forward to today. This is for us, these days are chicken skin experiences, and it's great to finally be here. I'd like to thank all of you who have participated. You've probably received emails from us. We've tried to reach out to everybody. If you haven't received an email from us, there's some information within your package. If you could scan that with your telephone and put in your name and addresses so we can stay in touch with you. The reason that's important is we're trying to secure grants. And the more we know about you, the better chance we have of securing a grant for you. There are certain grants that are targeted to seniors, targeted to veterans, targeted to people who have been incarcerated, so targeted to elderly people. So the more we know about you, the better we can help you, and it also helps us determine and design future modifications to our plans. I think we received great feedback from one gentleman you said, I'm a contractor and I have equipment and I don't want to leave my truck outside, but often the garages are too small. So in our next product, because of that input, we're making the garages 2 feet wider, and a little bit taller, so that contractors and a lot of beneficiaries are contractors can bring their trucks in, and a lot of beneficiaries are surfers too, so they can leave the boards on the truck. This is a milestone day for us. It's UHONA will be 161 homesteads, 137 developer-built homes, 12 habitat homes, 12 vacant lots. We're working with Hawaiian Dredging on the construction of the homes. We've worked with Hawaiian Dredging on 4 previous homestead projects and many other projects, luxury multi-million-dollar homes out in Wailea and McKenna. They just finished the Wailuku parking structure, which we were the project manager for. We really respect the company. They do great work. As Chair Watson commented, they were the builder for Laili'i Phase 1A, and we were very relieved when we could finally get out there and the telephones were working to learn that only 2 homes were destroyed, and it basically served as the fire break in Lahaina. But today we know that many of you have waited a long time, some cases decades, and we're excited to have the opportunity to build a home in the community for you. This process, this 5-year process, a lot of people in our office, everybody in our office for that, but also Chair O, who was here earlier, and Chair Watson, they've been involved from day one. Actually, Chair Watson and I worked on projects 26 years ago, and without his leadership, none of us would be here today. There are many others in the department who you're going to hear about shortly, whose efforts, they're behind the scenes. You might not come in contact with any of them through your whole journey to home ownership, but without their efforts, these projects don't happen. And they work very, very hard. It's a lot of paperwork, a lot of bureaucracy that they deal with to help you get onto the land. We take tremendous pride in being able to build your homes, and we really focus on, over the next year or so, as we go through this process, we're focused primarily on 4 things. We want to build, and we will build, a quality home. We won't sacrifice quality for cost. Quality is number 1. We spend a lot of time, thank you. We spend a lot of time working on keeping our costs low. Building on Maui is more expensive than building on Oahu. Things get shipped twice. And we're proud that our 5-bedroom house will be selling for less than the 5-bedroom house is selling in another Hawaiian Homeland project over in Oahu. And we have spent a lot of time, especially Brian Ige, who you'll hear from shortly, has spent a tremendous amount of time working with the Hawaiian Dredging, which in turn has been working with subcontractors to drive the cost down. We'll also, as you go through this process, you'll be hearing probably through email, from Millie Septimo. And Millie and Marilyn and Jack have been working on a lot of grants and continuing to work. We're continuing to, it started off with 1,000, and then that was matched by 4,000, which the department matched with 5,000, and now we're talking to some other nonprofits to see if they'll match the match. So we're continuing to work on that. And then lastly, of our 4 tasks during this process is to try to help you with mortgages. And the department has a team that's very proficient in that. We're trying to supplement their efforts. We recognize that for many of you, purchasing a home is going to be the biggest investment that you'll make in your life. And we know that's a scary process. So we'll try to do our very best to make it smooth for you, to answer your questions, to provide you the information you need, to provide you the guidance that you might need. And as Chair Watson said, you know, if this isn't the time isn't right for you right now, don't get discouraged, because there are so many other projects coming online. After UHONA, we have another phase in December, the second phase for UHONA. Then we have the third phase, which will be the habitat homes and the vacant lots. And then lately, increment 1 of phase 2. And then back to Wailuku for 204 homes and lots right above UHONA in Central Maui. And then probably back out to Lahaina for Le'i'i increment 2 of phase 2. And then the Wehu Mauka project, which is, as you're driving out to Wehu Ko, it's on the Mauka side of the road. It's the old Seabird MacDuck farm. And it's about 300 acres, close to 300 acres, I believe. And that will be 398 homes and half-acre ag lots. So there's a lot of product coming on, and we, you know, if this isn't the time, is not right for you now, go on our website, get familiar with those projects. Also, Kamali, as Kalani mentioned earlier, will be coming up. So over the next 6 weeks between now and lot selection on June 15th, we're going to continue to press hard trying to secure grants for you. And we look forward to you getting a homestead in UHONA. I know it's going to change your lives, and I think it will change generations of your lives. So thank you for being here. I would like to introduce Darren Okamoto now. Darren is an engineer, and his job is to manage engineers. He manages the outside engineering firms we work with. He also handles all of the permitting, which, as you know, handling permitting on Maui is a challenge. So thank you very much for being here.
As Everett mentioned, UHONA homestead design and securing the necessary permits and approvals is a big undertaking and would not be possible without the hard work and collaboration with the DHHL Land Development Division and the DHHL Planning Division. So we'd like to thank Kalani Franda, Stuart Matsunaga, Neil Nugent, Robert Ng, Michelle Inafuku, and the rest of the LDD team. And then also thank you to Andrew Choi, Malia Cox, and the rest of the planning team. Next slide, please. So UHONA Homestead is located on about 48 acres of land in Central Maui in Wailuku, Waikapu. It's close to jobs, schools, medical facilities, the hospital, police station, fire department, and parks. Kealani Village Center is just down the street with Foodland, Long's Drugs, a gas station, and several local banks. The residential subdivision will have 2 access points off of Hono'opilani Highway, which runs along the Makai side of the project. Next slide. UHONA land slopes Mauka to Makai, west to east, from elevation 450 down to about 380, so an elevation difference is 70 feet. Because of this slope terrain, there may be slopes in the front and backyards of the individual lots, which could in some cases open up views. Next, please. For example, along the backs of lots 65 through 77, which is located at the top of the page, there's an approximately 18-foot high slope in the backyard. These types of lots are larger with more lot area, but it does require maintenance of that slope. While other lots may have smaller land area, but more usable yard space, so it really just depends on what you and your family prefer. The lots being offered in this current phase 1 are outlined with the orange boundary. The lots along Hono'opilani Highway at the bottom of the page are elevated and sit higher than the highway. There's also a 20 to 25-foot landscaped slope along Hono'opilani Highway. With this landscape slope buffer, homes are set back at least 40 feet away from the travelway and away from traffic. Next, please. So same thing on this one back. Yeah, so this slide here, the orange boundary is the limits of phase 1, the 52 lots that are being offered. And these recent photos show kind of the typical slopes between the respective home pads, lot pads. Next, please. So these sloped areas are also shown on the plot plans for each individual lot that's being offered with phase one. So Brian Ige from our office, our construction manager, will now walk through the homes. Mahalo, thank you.
Aloha, everybody. Can you hear me? I ate too much Pukalani Super Ed Bento. It's a tough time. Anyway, can you go forward some slides now? I won't go back. Well, go ahead. One more. One more. One more. So we did it this morning, so I figured we did it backwards, so I'm going to do it the correct way. So Pu'uhona will be developed in 3 phases. The pink area is like phase 1, which is 52 homes. The yellow area or the beige area will be phase 2, and that's another 85 turnkey units. And the gray area would be the habitat and the vacant lots, and that would we consider phase 3. So now if you go back 2 more. So this is one more forward. Forward. Okay. So this is our phase 1. Again, this is 52. The lot selection for this will be June 15th, and we're here today to prepare you for that. Next slide. This will be our phase 2, again, the tan or yellowish areas. That lot selection date would be January 2025. The vacant lots and the habitat lots, we have a tentative lot selection date of April 2025. So this is our phase 1 offering. Basically, all the homes have been set on these 52 lots. Our drawings in the county have been approved. We're now going back and getting the final permits with the homes set on the lots. So they are preset. You can see, and you have this in your handouts that you picked out today. So you can see what house sits on what lot. We anticipate to start construction on this phase 1 in September of this year. Will take 22 months to complete all of the 137 turnkey units. Starting in September, we anticipate 5 months to complete a home. That would take us to probably the end of the first quarter of 25, and we hope to have leases in the houses early the second quarter. This is a little bit about our houses. You can read through it. Basically, we have bedrooms and full baths on the ground floor of all the 2-story models. 2-car garages are standard on all of our homes, enclosed. Yeah. This is our 3-bedroom Ilima model. Living area approximately 1,200 square feet. Under roof area 1,800 square feet. We have laminate flooring in all of the living areas and bathrooms. This is an open kitchen concept. The starting price for this home is $509,800. This is our Mokihana model. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2-story model. Living area is about 1,600 square feet. Under roof area is about 2,200 square feet or 2,100 square feet. Again, we have laminate flooring in all of the living areas on the ground floor. You can see the bedroom and bathroom on the ground floor in the front of the house. 2-car garage. And we have a big walk-in closet on the master bedroom on the 2nd floor. And there are 2 bathrooms upstairs. The starting price for this house is $645,000. This is another 4-bedroom model we have. It's 4-bedroom, 3-bath, again about 1,650 square feet. Total floor area about 2,150 square feet. Again, this is a little bit different in that the entry to the house is to the side of the house. So you'd have to walk down a sidewalk into the house from toward the middle of the house. Again, this is a open kitchen concept. We have a bedroom and bathroom on the ground floor, 2-car garage, and we have a huge walk-in closet in the master bedroom on the 2nd floor. Starting price for this 4-bedroom model is $662,000. This is our Lokilani model. It has 5 bedrooms and 3 baths. This is almost 1,700 square feet, 2,200 square feet on the roof. This one has a little different garage setup where you're not entering the garage straight on from the street, you're entering from the side. So the front of the house looks really beautiful from the street. You don't see the garage doors. Open concept kitchen area, laminate flooring on all the living areas. There's a bedroom at the back of the house, and there's 1 bathroom there, but this one has a shower instead of a tub, yeah. Upstairs, we have 4 bedrooms. Walk-in closet for the master bedroom. And this house will start at $699,000. In all of our homes, we incorporate some energy saving features, coated windows, dual-pane vinyl windows. Standard in all of our homes to put solar water heating. We insulate all the walls. We use energy-efficient lighting, Energy Star appliances, and we have the home set up where for electric vehicles and PV in the future, yeah. These are standard kitchen appointments. We are providing ranges and a refrigerator, as well as a dishwasher in these homes. We have nice kitchen cabinets, stainless steel sinks, and obviously a garbage disposal. These are some of our interior finishes. As I mentioned, we have water-resistant laminate flooring in all the living areas. We have double vanities in the master bathrooms. And we're using solid surface vanity tops and kitchen countertops. Yeah. Exterior, we always use fiber cement siding on our homes. Our garage doors have windows in them. We typically put a gravel edging around the home, and it's always standard to have 2 hose bibs on the exterior. Warranties, we have a standard 1-year warranty from the general contractor, 30-year warranties on the treated lumber, 40-year warranty on the roof shingle, manufacturer's warranties on the siding, and a 3-year termite warranty. We do have one expansion option for the single-story model we have. You can add a family room or a bonus room, that's what they call it. It's about 315 square feet. We also have some option and upgrades that you may want to consider. Ceiling fans, we can upgrade the cabinet finishes if you want, add additional hose bibs. We have an option to also do laminate flooring on all of the upper levels of the 2-story homes, including the stairs. There's also an option to upgrade your appliances, which are white, to stainless steel if you want. In addition, we have some additional options like PV attic fans, which help cool your attic for your home. Um, Gutters and downspouts, split air conditioning systems if you want. And we have some Kupuna features that you may want to upgrade to if needed, yeah. If you, just before we leave that slide, I think on the handout we submitted today, the deposit for the options, we had it incorrectly at 10%. It should have been 50, so just note that for your records. Okay, I'll turn it over to Jack Dowling now, who will go walk you through all the financing things that you need to have. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian, and aloha, everyone. Just want to spend a few minutes going over the financing options available to you. And I want to start off by introducing some of the financial institutions that we are fortunate to have joining us today. The home buying process can be overwhelming, and these groups are extremely well-versed and professional when it comes to navigating the nuances and financial options available to DHHL lessees. They also provide personalized service from start to finish, helping with the pre-qualification process, mortgage applications, and closing. So if you wouldn't mind briefly standing when I mention your team's name, and please hold applause till the very end. Rusty Rasmussen, Sydney Poa Smith, and Kim Makadingding from CPB, back there. CPB is our lead lender, and the team has been assisting in the pursuit of various grants, as well as offered up a $5,000 credit to help with down payment assistance. We're grateful for their support. Next, we have Lisa Carrillo, who's Executive Residential Loan Officer with American Savings Bank, and her team. They're in the back. Desiree Julian, Executive Loan Officer with Bank of Hawaii. Thank you, Desiree. Jenny Waipa with the Home Street Bank Loan Officer. And then we have a few more of these, so we can hold applause to the very end. Joining us virtually and overseeing the direct lending program for the U.S. Department of Agriculture Rural Development Team, we have Clarice Osaka, and she is the area specialist for the USDA. Also from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, we have Cherie Castanares, a Native American direct loan supervisor. All VA loans for all lessees have to go through Sherry and her team at USVA. And last two, we have Hawaiian Community Assets, which is represented by Kavehi Ka'a, intake manager. And we're extremely fortunate to have Hawaiian Community Assets, which is not a lender, to be clear, but they help with consulting services. So they'll help you conduct a financial assessment to determine what your loan qualifications are. They'll help with counseling, community workshops, financial education, and then based on your needs, backgrounds, they'll help guide you to the appropriate financial institution to meet your mortgage needs. Finally, we have Chanel Josiah, who is the External Affairs Director with Hawaii Community Lending. They're a trusted community financial partner and nonprofit mortgage lender, and they've been helping Native Hawaiian families to their home ownership path. So thank you all for being here. And one thing that I want to call out before going to the next slide is that most of these financial institutions and individuals are just outside the auditorium in the tents out back. And so once we get through this orientation meeting, please feel free, and I would encourage you to interact with them, explore their offerings, and help kind of kick off the pre-qualification process. Next slide, please. So these are some of the loan programs available to you. And these financing programs are far more favorable than conventional loans and provide a range of options for beneficiaries, again, based on your background, needs, and qualifications. So to start off, we have the VA Native American Direct Loan Program. This is the VA providing funds directly to eligible Native Hawaiian veterans or veterans married to an eligible Native Hawaiian. for the purposes of purchasing a home on trust lands. And a couple of things that I want to call out is it's highly favorable from the standpoint of no down payment, no mortgage insurance. It's a 2.5% rate, 30-year term. Next up, we have the USDA Rural Development Program, and there are actually two different programs associated with the USDA. The first is the Direct Loans Program. That's where the U.S. Department of Agriculture Rural Development Team will lend directly to the lessee. Again, no down payment, no mortgage insurance. It's a 4.5% rate, which is favorable compared to conventional loans today. Second associated program is the USDA Guarantee Program, and this is where it's still backed by the federal government, but a private lender, in this case, Home Street Bank, will actually provide the funding itself. And so one distinction between the two programs, the USDA Direct is targeting low-income families, so households below 80%, and the Guarantee Program is 150% and below. Finally, we have the FHA 247 and HUD 184A programs. These are either one or both of these programs is offered by Central Pacific Bank, Bank of Hawaii, American Savings Bank, and Home Street Bank. And so the rates do vary by lender. So I would encourage you to, again, after the orientation meeting, understand their offerings and have a conversation with them. Finally, I want to extend a big thank you to each and every one of these institutions and individuals for joining us today and supporting. They're passionate about helping lessees navigate the financing process and being a resource for you and your UHONA. And the financing products that they offer are, again, superior to conventional loans. I also want to recognize and thank Hawaiian Lending and Investments. With them, representing them, we have Naupaka Grace. HOI has been working with Central Pacific Bank to provide a matching $5,000 down payment assistance grant. So collectively, that's $10,000 to help support beneficiaries and assist in down payment. And finally, I want to say a huge, huge thank you to the DHHL Loan Services team, Nahasda team, and particularly these individuals, Lehua Kinilau Kano, Anne Arona, Cynthia Resentes, and Gigi Carell. They've been critical in helping us explore bringing additional grants to lessees, and we wouldn't be here without their support, navigating the financial process, availing resources, and again, supporting those endeavors. Now I'll turn it over to Millie Septima, and thank you all.
Aloha, everyone. We're so excited to see all of you here, friends and family. Thank you for coming today. So today I have the privilege of introducing Nadine Kometani. She's our real estate broker. Kometani Realty has been in business since 1984, and they have worked as project realtor for the State of Hawaii Department of Homelands on homeland projects located on Oahu, Maui, Hawaii Island, and are experienced in all phases of homestead development. They provide experience in sales contract development, contacting prospective buyers, lenders, escrow companies, loan processing and closing coordination, and counseling first-time home buyers. Nadine, could you please stand to be recognized? So we'd like to thank everyone for coming today, but mostly we'd like to mahalo so many people who have helped us along the way. Debbie Mahuna and the UHONA Community Association, Blossom Fatera and Auntie Kekoa Inamoto. She was here this morning, but I think she left. Michelle Heitzman and her team, the Hale Division, Juan Garcia and his team, the Homestead Services Division, Michael Lowe, who's in the back taking care of all of the video conferencing and the audio, Diamond Badayos and Paula Ayla, Tony Eaton and the Maui DHHL District Office, and Nadine Kometani and her team. Our sincere gratitude and mahalo to all. Thank you so much. And before you leave today, I just want to mention that we have some treats for you. So please exit through this door. So we have a little obachang treat bag for you. So please stop by on your way out. Thank you.
But not now. Our first meeting we had, everybody was going out their door for the snacks. We're not pow yet, Ohana. We have a couple more presenters, and great information is still yet to come. So the Homestead Services Division is involved in the direct servicing of homestead leases and applicants for the homestead lessees. Its three branches are: one, the District Operations Branch, which provides direct services to leases and applicants on a statewide basis through its 6 district offices of East Hawaii, West Hawaii, Maui, Molokai, Oahu, and Kauai. 2, the Homestead Applications Branch, and 3, the Loan Services Branch. So the Department of Hawaiian Homelands Homestead Services Division, please welcome Juan Garcia.
Aloha. You know, we've recognized and applauded a bunch of people, but I want to applaud you, beneficiaries, Ohana and friends, for coming out today. You know, for some of you, Pu'uhana Phase 1 will be the road, will be the end of the road to your journey of home ownership. And today I want to speak a little bit about your kuleana as a lessee with regards to designating a successor to your lease. What is a successor? A successor is that qualified relative that you name to take over your leasehold interest upon your death. And those individuals are listed up there. 25% Hawaiian relatives include the spouse of the lessee, children, grandchildren, and siblings. Qualified relatives to be designated as successors also include 50% father and mother, widow and widowers of your children, widow and widowers of the brothers and sisters and nieces and nephews. You know, earlier, this meeting earlier today, we had a little bit of a chuckle with regards to nieces and nephews, because in Hawaii, all the young kids are your nieces and nephews. But I just want to clarify for Hawaiian Homelands, nieces and nephews are the lessee's siblings' children, as well as the lessee's spouse's siblings' children. Those are your nieces and nephews. Outside of that relationship, they are not nieces and nephews and do not qualify as successors to your lease. This is a kuleana that you as the lessee must take seriously. Let me say that again. That is a kuleana that's very serious that you must take advantage of, because the road that you've traveled to home ownership, some of you waited for years, some of you decades. So it's something that you need to do in order for your legacy of the Hawaiian Homelands lease is preserved for centuries to follow. However, what happens if you don't designate a successor? Well, the department is mandated to publish a notice to the qualified relatives to submit a claim. And that is done through the public notice process. That's published in these newspapers that are generally circulated here in the state of Hawaii. Now, I want to point out that you as a qualified claimant must submit a claim to the Department of Hawaiian Homelands 120 days from that first publication. The 121st day, the door is closed. You have no right to submit a claim at that time. So it's important that you do it timely within 120 days from that first publication. And the publication is typically twice a year. We'll be doing one next month, and then again at the end of the year. Next slide, please. The qualified relatives, again, is on the board. The bullet points are listed in accordance to priority. Spouse has first priority. So if a spouse submits a claim, that spouse is qualified, having 25% Hawaiian, all bets are off. That spouse will be recommended to the Hawaiian Homes Commission to be approved as the successor to that lease. If there is no spouse, however, next priority is children. If there's no spouse, no children, then the grandchildren have next priority. And if there's no spouse, no child, no grandchild, siblings would be then the highest priority. And then those that are 50% listed on the screen, they are all of equal priority. So if there's a number of individuals within that relationship that come forward and submits a claim, unless the family themselves decide who should be the successor, the department will have no other option but to recommend to the commission to name all of them as co-lessees. Things to remember. Designating a successor is the lessee's responsibility. You can listen to the suggestions of the family members, but ultimately, it's your decision. Do not be pushed or forced into making a decision that you don't want. Explain your position to your family members, and they need to accept that. So have a discussion at the dinner table. Let the ohana, let your family members know why you're making that decision. Contact the Maui office and make an appointment to designate your successor. Again, these are for those that will have the opportunity to receive a lease this first phase. And again, as mentioned earlier, don't be discouraged. There's a lot more opportunities for you down the road. Second phase, third phase, or the other projects that's upcoming. In addition to transfers, a lessee has the right to transfer their interest in that lease. Now, if you're an applicant or a UI and you feel like, I don't have the financial wherewithal to qualify, but my son, my daughter, my grandchild might have. So you have that opportunity to let the department know that you'll transfer your interest to that individual that does have that financial ability to purchase a home. You can let our staff know. Michelle is there. She's that beautiful lady right there. Just let them know that that's your intention. So that way you're not bypassed as a applicant. You have that opportunity to pass on that homestead opportunity to the child, grandchild, or that relative that currently does have the financial wherewithal to purchase a home. The individuals that you can transfer to that have at least 25% Hawaiian is same as those that qualify as successors. 25% spouse, child, grandchild, or sibling. Was that the last slide, Mike? Yeah, again, I want to thank you for coming today. I know you have busy lives, but if you guys have any questions after the presentation today, we'll be here to answer some of the questions that you have. I'd like to now introduce Dean Oshiro, who is the Loan Services Manager with the Department of Hawaiian Homelands. Aloha.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. We were all told we get 5 minutes. My boss took 10, so I get 2.5. I might talk fast. Get ready. Okay. So with DHHL beneficiaries, your loan products that you can get, HUD, as Jack Dowling mentioned, HUD 184A guaranteed, FHA 247. Reason being, Hawaiian Homes Commission Act requires all of our beneficiaries' loans to be either federally guaranteed or federally insured. Therefore, you see federal government products up there. We also have our own guarantees where you notice Department of Agriculture. Jack mentioned rural development. He mentioned Veterans Affairs. We also do Hawaii Habitat. Hawaii Community Lending was also mentioned, but the department also guarantees other nonprofits or even credit unions to do your loans. But we also have our own direct loans in our portfolio. So the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act, like I said, requires federal guarantee, federal insured. The other thing it does, the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act mandates that the department can only lend up to 1/2 or 50, we cannot exceed 50% of the FHA maximum allowance for their outstanding loans. Go ahead. What does that mean? Go ahead. So for Maui, right now, your current Maui FHA loan maximum, 1 million. I'm just going to round down, 1 million, okay? So your DHHL maximum, roughly 500,000. You can go up to 30 years, the interest rate 4%. I know you guys saw the sales price, and right now, like the chairman and Mr. Everett Dowling mentioned, there's more projects down the road. So this may not fit you, but please, like they said, don't get discouraged. The ones down the road may fit the criteria for your department loan. Okay. Like Juan said, like I said, I told you I'm gonna be fast. Like Juan said, we'll be in the back. I do have one quick comment. So the lenders here are the ones that primarily participate with the bank, with the department. This morning's group, they was all in front, if our guys who are here remember. Now they all went to the back. So my comment is, okay, we had one private school. You guys all in the front at the beginning. Public school, that's me, I in the back. That's where they all went this afternoon. Guess why? They're all running to go back to their tables to meet with you folks, okay? So after this, please make sure you make that time and go sit with them. Like shopping for a car, shop for lenders. Everybody different, everybody get their own programs. They can help work with you, all right? Thank you.
Aloha, everyone. So the program I'm going to speak about is from the Department of Hawaiian Homelands. It's Nahasda. It stands for the Native American Housing Assistance and Self-Determination Act. It's funds that we receive from the federal government. And what we do with these funds is we use it for developing lots, for financing homes, just a number of different things. So the program has the best financing terms. So next slide is going to show. There's no down payment required, no closing costs, interest rate of 1%. We finance up to the appraisal amount, and we may subsidize. Sounds too good to be true, right? Kind of is a little bit. There's requirements with it, okay? So these are the requirements. That the household is at or below 80% of the area median income. So what I want to encourage, I know some of you may be looking at these prices. If you're a kupuna on fixed income, you might be thinking, how am I going to afford this? So please come and talk to us. We're in the lender tent. I know some of you already came by, and it sounded like some of you can qualify, are income eligible for Nahasda. The house will depend on your household size. You have to submit a lot of required income information, which you'll have to do for lenders anyway. And then again, there are some other requirements. So please, we've helped a lot of families, so don't get discouraged by the opportunities that are available. So that's what we mostly talk about for this project. But the other thing I want to mention is Nahasda is providing assistance to two other programs that are being administered by the Council for Native Hawaiian Advancement. So first, if you're a kupuna 62 years or older who's renting in the state of Hawaii, we can provide a rental subsidy. So please come and see us if you are renting and you're a kupuna. The other assistance that we're providing is if you've been impacted by the Maui wildfires. So it's not just your home, if your home was destroyed or damaged. It could also be if you lost your job or your income was reduced in some way because as a result. Please come and see us again. CNHA is our vendor for this program. We want to make sure we assist as many families as possible. So again, if you're not sure if you might qualify, come and see us at the tent. We're trying to get as much information out so that we can assist as many families as possible. So this is Anne's information. It is on the flyer that we were sharing as well. Please feel free to reach out to her and any assistance we can provide. So with that, mahalo.
Thank you, Lehua. So our last presenter is the Housing Project Branch, stands as a pivotal entity within the DHHL, entrusted with the crucial task of facilitating residential, agriculture, and pastoral lots offers. So please, family, welcome Michelle Heisman.
Good afternoon. So I'm the last presenter. When we're done here, we'll do some Q&As, and then y'all can get out there and talk to our lenders and the HCA and such. So you're here today probably because you got an offer letter or family and friends mentioned to you that there's a Pu'uhona orientation meeting, go and check it out because your application date is older, if you will, than June 30th, 2006, right? So you're here today, you're getting information on what is being offered. We're showing you the house plans, prices, financing options, and you've decided, you know what, this is something that I'm interested in. So what are your next steps? What do you do next to get the lot selection? So first, lot selection is scheduled for June 15th. We're gonna start about 9:30, and the location, while we're trying to get here, again, it hasn't been confirmed, but we'll have that information in the lot selection invitation letter. So again, for lot selection, it is for an invitation only. And the reason for that is there's 2 offer requirements for this offer. So beneficiaries who will be invited to the lot selection must meet 2 offer requirements. First being that response form, right? Submitting that pink interested response form and getting a pre-qualification letter submitted by May 24th. So postmarked by May 24th, you can drop it off at the Maui District Office or one of our other offices. If you're on another one of the islands, you can email it into us. Just be sure to get those into us by May 24th. Now on lot selection, how are we gonna go about calling names, right? So we'll call names based on rank order until all 52 lots are selected. And the rank order will be in 2 sections, right? So first is the undivided interest lessees. So that is, I believe on the slide, or it doesn't say Maui, but it's the Waiahuli undivided interest lessees. So they will go first based on their original application date. If there's any lots left over, we'll move on to the Maui island-wide residential applicants based on original application date. Now, the day of lot selection, you must be present. So please come early. You can hang out, sign in, come and sit down. If you're unable to attend, so if you know today you're interested, you're gonna get pre-qualified, but you can't make that date. We have proxy forms outside because it must be notarized, and your proxy must bring it with them the day of lot selection. Do not mail it into our office, don't walk it in. Have that person bring it with them that day. And then you must have a valid government ID, military ID, state ID, driver's license, passport. Have that with you that day. And if you happen to come late, right, and your name has already been called, if there's any lots available, you may select. Now I'm gonna pause here for a minute because you may have noticed your rank number on the sign-in sheet, right? And again, we went up to June 30th, 2006. So you may be thinking, oh my gosh, I'm 1,500 on this rank list, and we only have 52 lots. Please don't be discouraged. We don't want you to disqualify yourself based upon that. You've heard many of the projects that is coming up in the near future. There's about 13 to 1,500 lots. And Chair Watson mentioned that paper lease option. So again, please do not be discouraged because there's only 52 lots on June 15th. If you get pre-qualified and it's less than what is being offered, please submit. Just send it in so that we as a department know what you guys are qualified for. Because again, there are other options. We don't want you to just disqualify yourself and walk away with nothing. You know, Chair Watson, again, is looking at many options. Everett Dowling, they've got all these projects coming up. So again, submit and give us a call. Ask the questions, you know, communicate with us. There's things available for you, so. Okay, we can move on. So contract signing. The day of lot selection, you will sign your contract. So after you select your lot, you will move on to another room with Nadine Komentane and her staff, and you will sign your contract. Two things you need to bring. Your $1,000 earnest money made payable to title guarantee, and then that list of options that was provided to you in that packet. Any of those options you choose, you must bring 50% of that with you that day. Cashier's check or money order, no cash will be accepted. Now, Nadine Komitani and her staff, as well as Dowling staff, they're available to talk stories with you all, right? Because I know it can be kind of overwhelming. You're looking at this options list and the upgrades and, you know, the amounts and so forth, and, you know, you're thinking, how much do I bring? Please, talk stories with them, give them a call. They can walk you through that before lot selection day. Deferrals. So if by chance you happen to think, okay, you know what, this isn't, you know, for our family, we want to wait for vacant lots, you can submit your deferral form, but let us know that, please. Say you're not interested, but let us know why, right? If vacant lots is something you're interested in, please share with us so that we can kind of set future projects up for that, right? If habitat is something you're interested in, or even the rent with option to purchase options that Chair has mentioned, just let us know so that for us, it'll better equip us as a department to provide you with products that you all are interested in. And then some important dates. Again, May 24th, that is key. 2 forms, right? The pink interested form, as well as your pre-qualification letter. And then we will mail out the lot selection invitation letter. On there, we will put your ranked number, right? So again, you won't have to guess. You know, if you're 10, you'll know that we'll call 9 people before you, so have 10 selections ready to go. But again, if by chance you're 53 and below, please do not be discouraged. We have options and we're looking at other options for our families, so do not disqualify yourselves. This is our contact information. Moana Freitas and I are outside, right outside this door. You can come and talk stories with us after. You can give us a call, you can email. We're here to help and answer any questions for you. So that's it for the presentation. We're gonna answer some of the questions that was submitted. You have any? Do you have any online, Michael?
Stand by,
Anybody
let's
have?
take a look.
Or are we, no more? No questions? Oh.
For those of you
At this
online,
point, you know what?
hold on one second, please.
I'll
Miguel.
just
For those of you online who have questions, all you need to do is there is a reactions button. When you open the reactions button, you'll see a raise hand. When we see your raised hand, we'll ask you to unmute and we'll call on you. Stand by, please.
I have one here, so.
I'm the leasing, and my husband is a veteran, 100% disabled vet. He cannot be on, he has no Hawaiian. He cannot be, according to the Department of Hawaiian Homelands, on the lease so that I can get that special loan. Is that true?
So the question is, she's the lessee, her husband is the veteran, but he is not Hawaiian. So he's not eligible to be on the lease. Can she still use the VA loan? So no, because in order to use that benefit, you must be the veteran, and then in order to be on the lease, you must be at least 25% Hawaiian as the spouse, right? So not for homestead. But there's other options, definitely, that you can take a look at. Hi.
Hi, my question is, so the lots are going to be 40 feet setback. Is that sufficient enough for an ADU? If an ADU is allowed? And did I hear correctly, you're able to rent out the ADU?
You're on, is that enough room? And then can they rent it out? Those are the two questions.
This project was engineered before the ADU possibility arose. So we've gone back after the fact and we've identified specific lots that potentially could accommodate ADUs, but this project was designed before that became available. Future projects we're designing for the ADU possibility, but this project, there were very, very few. And I don't think any in this particular phase.
Michelle, we can go ahead and take a question online.
Yeah, real quick on the
okay.
ADUs. When a lessee requests to construct an ADU, at the very beginning, the request must disclose is that ADU or SDU will be used for OHONA or for rental. So you have the choice. OHONA is basically those individuals that you can designate as a successor that can occupy that SDU or supplemental dwelling unit. But you can also use that for rental income to a 50% Native Hawaiian.
Thank you, Juan. Okay, Carmen's iPad, go ahead with your question. Unmute and start your question.
How's it? My concern is what I was going to ask is only 52 lots here on this first phase. My waiting list number was in the 600s. So am I just wasting my time going through this process, or should I wait to another phase happen? Yeah. Hello?
So based on what Chair Watson was saying earlier, we're looking at other options. So for the 52 with a 600 PQ, for example, or less than what is being offered, you might not be available or eligible to select one of the 52. However, we are looking at other options. So we're asking that you do submit your PQ, because again, like Chair had talked about, we're looking at paper leases, there's future projects, and I think that was one of his main things, is he doesn't want our families walking away with nothing. Yes, right? You've gone through the process, you've waited. So again, we're looking at options. So we are asking for you to submit those pre-qualifications. Again, might not be eligible for this 52, but we are looking at other options.
Okay, well, we have questions coming up. I'm going to take one more from online. We'll ask Delo's iPhone to please unmute and go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, this is Denise. I live on the mainland, and I was offered this award. Is it required that I relocate and be a resident in Hawaii if I decide to build, if I decide to select one of these lots? Am I required to live there, or can I have it as a, second home or a vacation home?
No, the answer to that is you need to utilize that homestead, residential homestead, as your primary residence. So you must reside in Hawaii.
So the question that I received was, who can I speak to about zero down and zero mortgage? So for the Nahasda program that I spoke to earlier, it is a zero down, but you still do have a mortgage. It is a 1% interest loan, but we work with you. We can see what you can qualify for. Maybe we can subsidize a portion of it. So if you think you meet some of that income qualifications, please come see us in the lender tent and we can try and work with you. So mahalo.
So we're gonna end the Q&A now, at least the open forum, because we want you all to go and talk stories with the financial institutes. But again, we are available. Staff is right outside the door, and then we have Dowling on this side. Oh, sorry. Hang on 1 second. I apologize. Okay. Okay. And so for those online also, I'm not sure, Michael didn't mention this, but if you go on the UHONA website, you can type in your question there if we didn't get to you, and more so online, and we'll get the answers out. Oh, and I'm sorry. If you could please exit through the side door. That's Millie. Millie, where's Millie? Go and get your snacks, your water, and again, we'll be outside and available to answer any questions. Thank you guys so much for coming.
On behalf of the Department of Hawaiian Homelands and the Dowling Company, we'd like to thank you all so very much for joining us this afternoon. Please don't forget to exit on the side door to pick up your snack on the way out. And please do go visit our vendors and our lenders underneath the tent in the front of the auditorium. For those of you that are listening online, we thank you so very much for your time as well. And you can go to the UHONA website to take a look at more information as well as enter your questions there. Thank you again for tuning in. Thank you for being here. We wish you all the very best, and aloha.